we're away. Oh, we timed that pretty well. Ronnie Riggs with me in position. The great AOS over there assisting with Tommy Etchell and what has been a plethora of coaching staff for the Southern Wolves. We've got 5th versus 6th here in the pre-season tournament. It's the Southern Wolves taking on the Dominoes, and that's Lockie Boucher trying to get a bit of action there. Ronnie, you've joined us here on the broadcast for the end of that last game. You're with us on this one, and not a bad day for basketball, I must say.
No, it's a nice day outside, JB, and it's a nice day indoors as well too. And this will be a good game with two. There's a lot of youth in both teams here, so it'll be interesting to see who gets better at which here.
Vince going up, he was probably their most endeavouring player yesterday for the Dominoes. Actually won their first game yesterday, Ronnie. I don't know whether you saw that. They came back from as much as 15 down against Hobart. However, they were no match for their next two opponents as Lockie Boucher works his way inside there. I do ask, Ronnie, I'm assuming you would know most of these Dominoes players?
Yeah, I do. There's quite a few here that obviously I've either coached in the past or have officiated before. So, and the interesting move has been Jordan Walker going from Kingborough to Dominoes.
Yes, I think he wanted more of a chance at senior level. As Chrissy Oldham goes up and under, can't get that done. Who is the young gentleman there, number 68, Ronnie?
68. Now,
It's the only man I was not able to get a name for yesterday.
Right. His name now escapes me. I'm going to have to go find Ann Ogg.
We've done well here.
Because...
Oh, Collins inside. Where's the fan club? Shana
Bounce is just giving you a look and a half there, JB.
Shana Thompson was going ballistic yesterday when Isaac had a good game in the first quarter. He did tell me yesterday that he does feel that he needs to really force himself on the game here in this one, so look for him to attack. But this Southern Wolves lineup, Ronnie, just quickly, we'll get on to the Dominoes in a second. That's a three-pointer. Bang.
Nice shot. Falling
into place there just as the shot clock expired. But this Southern Wolves team's a very different mix. Obviously a different team to last year, as Ronnie's just adjusting his mic levels there. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you, yep.
Very good. As Boucher goes inside, took the contact, second chance. Another player who's on a bit of a move there. He's gone from the Phoenix
to
the Wolves. Dwayne Radcliffe back. He's playing a leading role as well. BJ is out today. You'll notice Tyson Joseph also out as well. Noah Johnson back on the floor for the first time in 12 months. You've got Fraser Payne. You've got Chris Oldham there. You've got Gino Canard. Big block there by Vince. So a lot of youth, a lot of athleticism, but a good mix of experience. I mean, this certainly isn't a Wolves team that looks like it's going to go 0-16 again.
No, certainly not. I think some Wolves are certainly going to, push their case in the SBL this year, and I think we're going to see a lot of improvement from them.
And we'll see what happens there as Collins goes inside. Good cut there by Payne. Gets the defender in the air. That was young Caleb Pawson and gets the finish.
So nice finish there by Fraser Payne, who I've been really enjoying his game so far. He's working extremely hard, and I hope he gets another opportunity again with this Wolves team this year in the local competition.
Dwayne Radcliffe. Nearly said Davey. I've been saying Dwayne Davey for years now, but Dwayne Radcliffe back in the state helping out. Boucher inside. Athletic finish. Gets that done. And it's good to see Lockie Boucher back on a basketball court, Ronnie, because he is an asset any team he is on.
Absolutely. And I think for Lockie, hopefully this can be, again, another fresh start for him. And hopefully he can find that form he's once had and be really a prominent figure in the competition.
O'Dwyer couldn't accept that pass there from Walker. Out of bounds. Aaron Clement on the case. Substitution there as Noah Johnson heads into the game. Tommy Etchell and the great man, Old School AOS. Old School, I found out, is another nickname that he has.
Yes.
After talking to CJ yesterday, he said, talking with Old School, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, we even had WrestleMania 3 references before you got here.
Well, there you go.
Talking about, he said, is it Neidhart or Neidhart or Braveheart? I said, it's Nye House. So he started telling me about the Heart Foundation. So I did have to explain that the difference between Tom Nyhouse is the fact that it's Nyhouse, not Neidhart, and Jim the Neidhart, Anvil Neidhart, is actually no longer with us. So
yes.
there's just a subtle difference in the detail there. The Dominoes back down the floor, and just a little bit of structure you would have to think, Ronnie, would certainly help these young fellas. I mean, they're a predominantly reserved team running into Dwayne Radcliffe. Good luck there. That's a 6'7". That's a big body there. There's Pawson. Took his steps early. And another young player, though, Ronnie, who's had some senior minutes here or there, but does the one percenters that certainly can help a team out. He's able to rebound, he's able to shoot. He's a bigger body than his brother, but he's still able to use some of those guard skills as well.
Absolutely. He's got a bit of size, and, he can be that kind of stretch 4, stretch 3, if you want to put it that way. And I think for Dan Ogg, as the season goes along, I think they'll find some structure within what they're trying to do offensively. From a defensive perspective, as long as they get their rules set and know what they're doing, I think the offense will click okay for them.
As we spoke yesterday, there'll be a foul on Gino Canal, I'm pretty sure. Either that or no, it was on Payne, I do believe.
Yeah, no, Payne just kind of leaning in there, had a bit of body contact on that one, JB.
One thing that we did outline yesterday, Ronnie, and it's certainly something that's indicative of the way that Dan Ogg coaches junior teams and certainly the way their reserve team played last year, is that no matter what the margin is or what the result is, the Dominoes play to 100% at all times, so you'll never see them give up. And I think that's a good attitude for a team that's probably going to have a hard first year, as Boucher landed awkwardly, got up from that one. Probably going to have a hard first year in senior competition, but if they show that drive and endeavour to compete for a full 40 minutes, no matter the result, it'll hold them in good stead.
Absolutely. I expect this Dominoes team to, come through at least a couple wins. It's like when we talked with head coach Scott Roth of the Jack Jumpers earlier this week, and, we talked about the South East Melbourne going gangbusters in their first few games. I don't expect something like that, but what I expect from Dominoes is to build and improve over the first, handful of games, and then, see if they can get a couple upsets.
Collins gets the ball there. He's got Gino there, gets the defender in the air, takes a contact and one. Smart play, easy play. And the Wolves just starting to apply a little bit of pressure now.
Yeah, they certainly are, JB, and I think for Kennard, that would be a good little starter for him just to get a cheapie there and get his confidence going. He certainly was, one of the main type of players for the Wolves last season and really try to, take some control. But now with some veteran bodies back and a little bit more help, I think he'll fit in nicely. Yeah,
he's going to be a real energy player. The big thing with the Wolves last year is that they were a little bit erratic. They didn't see as much of the ball. That'll be credited there to Dwayne Radcliffe. But if they can certainly harness that energy, minimise the erratic shots and decision-making by some of these young guys. There's, as you said, plenty of experience for the Wolves to capitalise. Number 64,
that's
would be...
Blake Jones.
Yep. Green, Jones, Turner. That's how I remembered 63 through 5 yesterday.
Well, there you go, JB.
So there's Brandon Cooper on the floor with them as well. Vince still in. He's played a majority of minutes. Good cut there by Collins.
Just an easy backdoor play there, JB.
Very easy backdoor play there. So only a 13-point margin here. The Dominoes are going to want to try and restrict things as much as they can. And again, the big story coming out of this tournament as well, with the Dominoes getting the win. The Hobart Phoenix, 0-3 yesterday. They are not here today. And, of course, they played a majority of their reserve team yesterday. But that's certainly got to be something that a lot of the competition would be looking at and going, OK, maybe there is an opportunity. As Collins inside.
He's just finding his way through quite easily, JB. We'll come back to Hobart in a second. But Isaac Collins just showing he's still got it. He's been out for a little bit, but good to see him, find that old form.
Well, the big thing, as I said, talking to him yesterday, he said he doesn't like being selfish, but he really wanted to assert himself in this game. And I tell you what, if he can continue to do that, get a bit more fitness into him, there's no doubt about it. Going to be a problem. Isaac does have a bigger body, as you can see there. Backdoor pass, too easy to Johnson, fade away. Used it yesterday, got it today as well. The best post moves I've seen for most of the weekend have come from guys 6 foot or less, Ronnie. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. And you just can't allow a pass down low like that and then all of a sudden quickly try to get on your player. He's got to be more proactive on the defensive end and deny that pass entry in. Yeah,
well, they gave Johnson too much thinking time. Dominoes again trying to get through. They're being swarmed. That would be Green off Turner. Our friend number 68 needs to put that up. We will get a name on there. Dwayne Radcliffe. That's a high dribble.
That is a very high dribble.
Collins! No, can't get that one to fall. He's had a good first quarter, though. Inside a minute now, the Dominoes down 5-22. But we need to get that done. There's Turner, another turnover.
Yeah, just some they're just rushing and poor decision-making as they come down offensively. Something Dan Ogg will need to address at quarter time.
Geez, that's a nice pass by Collins. Oldham, Radcliffe, death taxes. A bit hard to stop a bloke at his size and his height that low under the basket running.
Absolutely. Good to see Dwayne Radcliffe back as well too after, a couple of years away and work commitments and other things happening. It's nice to see him back out on the floor.
Absolutely. He's been interstate doing his thing as well. I will just get a confirmation. I do have old team sheets from yesterday. We will confirm our Dominoes friends here. Number 65 is Turner. 64 is
Turner.
64 is Jones.
Yes, Blake Jones. Yes,
And 63 is Sam Green.
Sam Green.
But we do not have a 68.
I will endeavour to go over and see the ladies at the score table at quarter time, JB, and I'll get a name for us.
Try and get that there. Dominoes unable to convert there at the foul line. 0-2. Collins up the floor inside of 30 seconds. Well weighted pass to Oldham, who's gone down. Couldn't catch that one. Wanted some contact, but we will be going back the other way. Running clock in this tournament, Ronnie.
Very good. That's what we like to see. Quick game's a good game, JB.
Absolutely. It felt like a long day yesterday, though. 9 hours still covering things, and that was before we did the first game. Good save there. That'll be Vince. No chance in that one there. Collins needs to get over the top to Oldham. Gets it off. No good. That one was rushed. Ronnie will head to the score table to get us an update. 24-5 to end the first quarter here. We'll be back with the second after this.
I'm hearing fix. I don't know.
Yes, who knows, Ronnie? Either way, we're back here with the second quarter. Good Lord, he says.
Yes. Shout out to the score table officials as well too for helping us out. We got 68, which was Callum Fox, who's currently on the floor for Dominoes, JB.
Very good. He's been down listed as 6. I've seen him all weekend and just simply haven't called his names. Apologies there. Pawson, get that out of here, says Radcliffe.
It's an easy block for Dwayne Radcliffe in the office today.
Yes, he will be having a pretty decent day down there. In fact, I'm surprised they're not playing more mouse in the house box. Going for that one, misses Walker. I tell you what, this is going to sound really funny. Had a really terrible first half against Hobart.
Oh, beautiful move by Fox.
Nice little drive there. He's got that James Newitt build about him, Ronnie.
He does a little bit. Shout out to our good mate James Newitt.
Yes, who had the best offensive move of his life yesterday when the cameras weren't rolling, so it wasn't that endearing. As Boucher misses that one, rebound by Pawson. But Walker yesterday had a terrible first half shooting, slowed down the second half, and while we're talking him up and Swisher up on the commentary here with David Bartlett, we come out and had a massive second half of shooting. So we probably need to get DB back in because I think even Jordan has said he's had a bit of a rough weekend of it. But it's good to see a few of these young blokes, and Jordan's a good example of that, going over to the Dominoes to try and get some senior experience.
Well, again, sometimes going to a new club or having this new lease of your basketball life doesn't hurt. And I think for Jordan, this will probably be a really good opportunity. It's now up to him whether he can seize that opportunity.
So Noah Johnson, he's down the far side. Gino with the ball. He's got Boucher on an assistance. Good skip pass. Fraser Payne in assistance. Doesn't matter. Boucher goes bang.
And that's typical of Lockie Boucher. You know, again, good ball movement and a good look there by Lockie. He certainly can knock that down, and we want to see more of that.
We'll see how he goes continuing on with the game. Walker inside, a nice little floater, and that's a good finish by Jordan Walker. He's able to use that speed.
Just a defensive breakdown there, just allowing that to happen too easily. So I think Coach Tommy Etch will need to probably address his defensive rules on that one.
Just going to turn that focus to automatic. That'll help us there, JB. Very nice as Boucher gets caught down low, but he's athletic enough and long enough to try and get that one over the top. Can't. There goes Vince, not Rice. There's Vince. Well, Gino Mohamed Kanar tried to get the charge there. Vince was just far enough out that he was able to take the run and the jump, as Ronnie tries not to smile. We'll fill everyone in on that one later.
I coach young Lachlan Rice at the Friends School, and obviously I do some stuff with him in the Filipino community basketball comp, and he's been dominating. That will be undoubtedly our MVP of that competition. So good to see him, though, as Fox goes from downtown. It's good to see him, though, finally take that step up and play some senior basketball, which I've been wanting to see for the last 2 years.
Yes, no, he's doing very well, a very good athlete as well, and clearly the best athlete on this team as Pawson tries to contest that one, but Fraser Payne, just too quick, just too good, got that one to fall. 31-13 our scoreline. Just over 7 minutes remaining here in the second half. 5th versus 6th here in the KHBA preseason tournament for the SBL. That is a big hit.
Yeah.
Clement, count the basket.
Yeah, Noah Johnson there, just not getting that position, just coming in late.
Well, we're having a talk on the baseline, though.
So they're going to change it. I mean, there's no, of course.
Let's have a look. Well, everyone's lined up.
Oh, it's an offensive foul.
They have called the charge.
Okay. So the call has been changed. Timeout's been called here.
Well,
because we cannot review it.
But yeah, we don't have it on the delay.
No, and of course we can't. And by per FIBA rules, we are not allowed to go to the video anyway. So interesting. I would assume both referees, Charlene Kellner and Aaron Clement, the two referees on this game, had a quick chat. Really, to be technical here with the referee area, it was in Charlene's area to call. So she would take the call. So if she's seen it differently compared to what Aaron has, then that has to go to the lead official.
And I'll give Aaron the credit on this. He walked straight up and asked the question. It wasn't a matter of just, yep, we'll roll with my call. They went up, they confirmed. I didn't see exactly where Noah was sitting. I know he was hit. He was hit and he went down.
Thought initially he might have been a little bit late, but obviously he must have got there in time with feet first facing.
So that call's been made. Our friend Rice is not going to be very happy.
No, he's a tough competitor.
And he was very frustrated at that call.
Yeah. Not the first time I've seen that from him, and not the last time I'll see that from young Rice, but for him, he's just got to mentally now switch back on and forget about that and move on.
Well contested by Oldham, who gives to Payne, wanting to cause a house of it, but can't. Boucher fading.
Nice shot.
He's looked really nice in this game, Lockie Boucher. Probably the best he's looked all weekend.
It's good for Lockie's confidence, and I think he needs to keep finding those shots and those cheapies where that confidence then stays with him.
Good ball fake. Cleaned up Radcliffe there. And I often ask this question, Ronnie. How do you assess a block charge on a guy so big like Dwayne, who isn't always, and that's a foul there, so that sort of makes up for it. He wants to come out of the game. Have they called timeout?
Another timeout.
So that's very, very quickly. That's about a 30-second turnaround. I mean,
it is.
Just back to the point
yes,
there, Ronnie, how do you work on a charge there? I mean, because Dwayne's been, it doesn't matter who, unless someone's Dwayne's size, Dwayne's not going to hit the deck. How do you then work a charge for a guy, say like a Dwayne, not saying he was in position there, but how do you officiate someone who's getting absolutely ploughed into like that, rock back, are you then calling the charge or what are you looking at there? Because it's very hard to officiate.
You're looking at the defence and then also secondary to that, you're also looking at what the offence is doing. So if the offence is out of control, so to speak, and then takes out the big fella, I mean, you have to look at is the defence there? Is he feet first facing? Has he been given time and space? So really, the size and that won't matter. It's just all about is the defence positioned, and then the level of contact as well. Was it a hard enough hit to us to deem that's an offensive foul? Or has the defence gone back first before, taking a bit of contact? So there's a few things there we look at. It's a very tough call to make, as you know, JB.
Especially someone at that size.
Yeah, so, you judge it by its merits and, players can live with that.
I mean, in turn two, though, is it even harder to then try and judge as Boucher goes up, gets a contact and one?
Yeah.
Is it very hard to then judge on the other side of the floor if someone like Dwayne, for example, if he went up against Fox or Walker in the low post, he's got, half a foot of size. He's got at least double-digit kilos on them. How do you then try and referee the return of, okay, how do you quantify the contact of someone his size against someone that small?
Yeah, it's a good question. You have to try and officiate it the same way.
Good pass.
Very good pass. Oh, jeez. It's a bit of a broken offence here by the Wolves. But you've got to try to officiate the same. I don't think you just can't say, well, he's a big guy, he's strong, he's going to knock someone over. You still have to officiate it on its defensive merits and its offensive merits. So you try to be the same when you're adjudicating in what you're saying in your question, JB.
So Callum Fox nearly loses that, gets the ball, pump fake 3 or 4 times. He's managed to get that down low to our favourite number, 64.
Yes, Blake Jones, who I've seen play a little bit over. Of course, he also plays in the Filipino comp and has been playing some school basketball as well too, with the current Sardis roster in play. And again, he's a good shooter. If he can find his range, he doesn't do too bad. And, inside he's not too bad either. So we want to see some good development from him as well.
Pawson wanting to go inside. Doesn't matter. Gives it out to Fox for 3. That one's long back iron. O'Dwyer fighting for the rebound. Gets that there. Wants to go straight up. Fires it back out to our man Fox. Screen by Pawson. Goes inside up and under off the glass. No good. Gets his own offensive rebound though. Good hustle. Squares up. Big fella's contesting that. You're not going to try and get that over him. Pawson feeds him out again. Very confident young player here, Fox. He's trying to get something out of it. 4 seconds. Sky hook in the wrong direction. It's paid off somewhat. That
Nearly.
was as Dwayne, get out of the elbows, boys. Yep, we're going the other way.
Just a funny sequence of events there, JB. I'm like, he just got a bit stuck there, and all of a sudden, the skyhook pass. I thought O'Dwyer might have bailed him out there with the.
I think he did with a lucky catch, to be honest with you.
Yes, I think so.
Dwayne Radcliffe asking about contact there, though. He got smacked on the arm 5 or 6 times, and
He did.
I think it was a good sign from the referee that when the big fella starts raising the elbows, we might want to just call something here.
Yes, just to get some control back.
No, that's not O'Dwyer. That's our friend.
That's Jones.
Oh, hello. That's an accidental tunnel, but it's going to count. And that's a smart call there. No need to unsporty. Momentum had him going to the ground. But that's a contact foul in anyone's book, Ronnie.
Yeah, just a poor offensive execution down this end by the Wolves, and then led to a turnover. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Cooper gets himself into the game with a cheapie of a 2.
So he misses that one. Cooper's been in and out of the rotation most of the time. I mean, just quickly on that previous play, Ronnie, where they were up and under constantly there, Dominoes. I mean, that's another execution factor too that Dan Ogg will stress. You've had multiple opportunities there, albeit against this Wolves team, but you need to capitalise and at least try and convert one of those. We've got an injury on the floor. That looks like a sore finger. I'm going to suggest that if it's not a sore finger, he's been hit where it may hurt. Violation, no score. And that is O'Dwyer. And I don't know what is it his finger or is he being hit below the belt? He gives a bit of a wave to the boys. He's waving that finger around.
He's grimacing.
I reckon he's jarred that finger.
I think he has.
Oggie's just giving him a bit of a glance.
Yes.
Yep. Keep going. No, you're all right.
I was going to say, and knowing Ty quite well, he'll just play through that.
So, now that... No whistle from the ref. Can we get a whistle, please? Very nice. Bit of communication. We are going that way. It's like, hang on a second. Is this a live ball situation still?
I think so. Something now Lachlan Rice coming in for Blake Jones.
Yes, Rice, not Vince.
I've got a school photo to prove this, JB.
Mate, I've got the team list. I know his name's Rice. I was saying Rice, and then you told me I said Vince, so I said Vince. Anyway, Cooper for 3. Let's go.
It's pre-season for us, JB. It's pre-season for us, JB. We're warming up, getting ready for April 17.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and local league a couple of weeks highly before that. We'll see what happens.
Oh, dear.
Gino inside. Good runner, good floater, and that's the energy he can bring.
Oh, absolutely. And, again, he can be that spark that this Wolves team will need. Not that they need it at the moment because they're up by 20, but certainly you want to experiment a few things here now while you're up. So if he can be a spark-type energy player, I think that might be a good move.
Good fadeaway. Got the front of the rim, though. Doesn't count unless it goes in the net, as we all know. Johnson just meandering over half court. Boucher wanted to pull up. He wanted that baseline dunk. He still wants that baseline. Gets it. Oldham, no good. Is our friend there.
Yep, so Rice with the rebound.
I was seeing whether we could get the name out of you, Ronnie.
Yeah,
Very
no,
good.
we're there.
Rice. O'Dwyer. No good round the rim. And the last couple of possessions for Dominoes, they have actually had some solid looks. They just haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad what they're trying to run. I mean, again, a new team.
Shot by Johnson.
Good shot by Noah Johnson. Again, a new team. It will take a little bit to gel, but, it's good that they're trying some things and see what works, see what doesn't work.
So we're inside the last 100 seconds of the first half here. 40-17, the Wolves away with the game. As Cooper gets checked out of bounds, that'll be a foul on Collins. 2-2, our scoreline. Our third game here, third of 5 games for the day. We had 9 games yesterday, 5 games today, over 14 hours of pulsating action, at times anyway. And, no, it's good to be back on the floor. And, I mean, personally, I know for ourselves, Ronnie, it's good to be back calling ball.
Absolutely. We've been probably looking forward to this weekend for a little while now as Brody Turner can't get the three to go. But, for us, it's, we're really warming up for our NBL 1 coverage starting on April 17 with a local derby here at home to kick us off for the 2021 NBL 1 South season. So, but good to be here this weekend covering local action like we do.
O'Dwyer wanted the call on that previous play. Doesn't matter. Johnson inside, kicks out to Gino. He's going to just dump it down to Boucher, skip past Collins, needs to finish, does.
Nice little play there. This, again, Dominoes ball watching on that one and just made for some easy passes inside. So
we'll see what can happen here as Johnson just crosses his speed a little bit there, nearly loses himself defensively. Tom the Anvil Nyhouse going past us there.
He just wanted to wave and shout out on the broadcast.
Well, he's had
made.
He didn't need any shout outs in his last game. He was dominant. As Cooper got the score there. Good defence there. Johnson pulls up for 3. Bang!
Nice.
Great way to end the second half, and he just walks off and tells everyone about the good effort he put in there. 24-point lead. The Dominoes down here. The Wolves looking like they're going to secure a 5th spot in this tournament. We'll take a quick halftime break and come back with the second half after this. Second half underway. Southern Wolves to the right of screen, Dominoes to the left, and they're hoping not to have that effect here defensively in the second half. Radcliffe with 4 of them hanging off his arms gets that one away, and I suppose the second half, as much as anything for the Dominoes, Ronnie, is going to be about execution on both ends as Collins tries to bank that one in from the side. It's Boucher starts the first half as he ended it. Starts the second half as he ended the first half with a score, but I assume as a coach, even though you're still within touch, realistically, the game isn't gone, but it's not necessarily there as Fox tries to put amends to that. Dan Ogg's going to be looking for execution factors here.
Yeah, I think if I'm in Dan Ogg's shoes, it's more about what we can execute now offensively and then what we can execute defensively within our rules. So this is more about how we can develop and grow as a team in this second half.
Shot there from Payne. And that's unfortunately, they've over the backed one another there, the Dominoes boys. And again, that's just a matter of communication.
Yeah, and this is what this second half will be, is trying to, get these guys to work out for themselves. It's like, that talk and communication, which they needed on that. And I think this will, hopefully bring out some home truths on how this team can improve going forward.
Payne wanting to get inside, closed off well. Boucher's open though. Happily he takes that. He's looked really good in this game, Boucher, in the minutes he's been able to get on the floor. That one off the Dominoes. So we'll get the ball into the hands of the Wolves. 90 seconds gone here. Boucher, good spin move. Needs to finish. I tell you what, he's padding the stats there with the Moses Malone rebounding effort, but still wants to convert. And that's another thing too. Good dump down there, the Dominoes. Good finish there. That's
much better.
That's one thing that the Wolves will want to look at, though, is capitalising. And Tommy Etchell's gone for the timeout. I thought he might. Capitalising on those offensive possessions, but not giving up easy shots on the other end as well.
That's right. Tommy Etchell will still want the Southern Wolves team to play hard. I mean, it might be pre-season, but you want these guys to be playing at a good level in order to be ready in a few weeks' time.
So they missed that one there, the Dominoes. They're out. Radcliffe just going to stifle that pass. And he's like a magnet of attention. He's always going to draw a defender. Payne, accidental pass. Boucher, 3, bang.
And there you go.
And that was definitely an accidental pass.
It was an accidental pass from Fraser Payne. I think Fraser wanted to do something else with that ball.
24 points, our margin. And, it'll be interesting to see just how this timeout reads if it does go.
So that wasn't too bad there. Yeah, so timeout there. So that wasn't too bad. Ball got dumped down low. Again, Rice went to work and got an easy 2. But they're a little bit stagnant on their offense at the moment, this Dominoes team. So I just wonder what Dan Ogg might draw up here. He's slow to get out of the chair to talk to his troops.
Yeah, I don't know whether Dan's a bit slow to get out of his chair or whether he's just a bit sore, Ronnie.
I mean,
you would have to suggest that he'd be reasonably happy with the energetic start, and they've had a couple of conversions, but as you said, it is a matter of running your sets, sticking within your team rules, being accountable, and execution.
Absolutely. And, if I could take the experience that I took coaching on grading weekend with the juniors, for me it was more about how can my team, work together, work on their offensive sets and then work defensively as well too. So for me, it wasn't about wins or losses. It was more about how we could grow as a team and develop over the 2 games that we had. And really, when you're down by 32 at the moment, I wouldn't think about the scoreboard if I'm Dan Ogg. I'm more worried about...
22.
Or 22, sorry, thank you. I'm more worried about, how... what combinations can I run? What can I get out of these guys and whatnot? So this is more about their development and a team development.
So we'll see what they come out with here after the early time out there by the Wolves. They're just not happy, giving up too many easy points and just not converting. Basic breakdowns indeed. So the Wolves now, Isaac Collins has this ball, and he started hot. That was a nice pass to Payne, deflected.
Nice little backdoor cut they're running there for Payne, who I know if he got that, he would have made that. That would have been automatic for him.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying to draw the defence off that baseline. There's Payne again. He's a smart user of the ball, and he's a very good athlete, and that's why.
And, I love this boy, JB. He's going to certainly be a bit of a potential talent coming forward over the years to come. He's certainly working very hard on his game. And, refed him at under-18 grading weekend.
Offensive foul, sorry.
Okay, yep, you're all right. That's for an illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
Yep. Just coming quickly back on Payne, again, he showed why he'll be one of the top under-18 players in the TJBL South Conference this year, JB. And again, he's showing why here on senior grading weekend. Pre-season weekend.
Pre-season weekend. There's a 3. That's a high arcing, and that would be why it was too high arcing. I thought he gave a bit of extra mustard on that one. The big fella there just couldn't get that one to work.
So Turner.
And that's a second opportunity. He's missed that one. Third opportunity. Can they capitalise? They can. And as a spectator, Ronnie, I know what I certainly like to see, but I'd have to say as a coach too that, by the time you get that third chance at the basket, you want to be converting.
Yeah, absolutely. You just can't give up easy ones.
Good elevation on the jumper there by Gino.
Yeah, Gino with a nice jumper there. And again, for this Southern Wolves team, Tommy Henschel's up and about there. He wants this team to play hard for the full 40 minutes because you don't want to give up anything easy at this point in time.
That is the most unique offensive set the Dominoes have run. That's good execution on that hook pass on the backdoor cut and then the bloke coming down the lane. I mean, if it works, Ronnie.
Absolutely. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it, JB.
Exactly right. Wish someone had helped me on this broadcast, though. My God, not you, as in need to fix me.
All right, right. No
Jesus, there's a reason they offer a mute button. I'm usually it. 54-32, 22-point margin still. So the Dominoes managed to plug that back a little bit here as the great man manages to try and build Rome on that effort.
Again, I think for Lachlan Rice, it's more how he can develop to this standard of play. When you've been playing in a social competition, it's a little bit easier. Brandon Cooper goes from downtown. But for Lachlan Rice, it's all about how can I adapt to this. This is a bit of a level above what he's been usually playing in. So for him, he's just got to find his way, but then also try to work his teammates in at the same time.
Radcliffe gets the contact. He'll go to the line for 2.
So substitutions here. Chris Oldham, Noah Johnson coming in, Isaac Collins, and Gino, sorry. Yep, Gino coming off for Breba. So, what are we, 19 points at the moment. So, if Dominoes can just chip away here and get it to a reasonable margin, we could still say this is a bit of a ball game. But for some Wolves, they really want to keep up in the ante on their pressure. That last one there where the miracle play happened for Dominoes, they just got too caught up a third of their half court, so which allowed that Dominoes offense to work. So interesting to see how they come defensively here.
So the Wolves get the rebound there and they are away. And they've just been slowed up here. Boucher wants to get down the lane. We haven't seen him throw one down yet. Payne doesn't mind getting in the lane, though.
No.
Nearly fouls there as Cooper tries to run away. And he's just been put on his backside. Bit of a shrug there. Noah Johnson with a bit of a look.
No, nothing in that. And then, Cooper's just tried to swipe that across. And, that's automatic from foul.
A really easy call to be made. We're inside 4 minutes here in the third quarter. The Wolves still with a comfortable lead, 21 points, but the Dominoes are showing signs. They're trying to fall into place, and they're going to try and get something out of Jordan Walker here on the far side. Limited minutes in this one. No-look pass. He loved them yesterday. Up and under, no basket. But again, it's those little things that will eventually fall into play, Ronnie, and those baskets will, certainly change the outlook of this team as Noah Johnson bails
Absolutely.
into the rim.
And I think the other thing too is these guys are playing on a different court than what they normally are. Because during the season we're playing on these two courts running down.
And a lot of those boys who are reserves are playing on a 3-quarter court.
That's right. And then the other thing too, this is an open court. Because we don't have the full stand out, this is a really open court. So the environment for these guys is a little, I reckon by now, it's Sunday, they would have adjusted to it by now.
22 points our margin once again. Johnson at the line looking to make it 2 from 2 and does with ease. So the Southern Wolves still holding that buffer, and it's that little 22, 21, 20-point margin here for the Dominoes that once they can break it down, you can get into some play-by-play sort of breakdowns, Ronnie. You can go to, let's make it 18, let's make it 15, let's make it 12. But until they sort of break that original buffer, they've got to take it step by step.
Oh, absolutely. And I think...
Hold them for 3. No good.
And you got to look at small targets too, JB. Give yourself some small targets to aim at. As Johnson misses that one.
Boucher was flying in.
In my word, I thought we were standby there.
Payne, no miss.
Boy,
the Dominoes managed to make up for it. That'll be a note there, no doubt, for Tommy Ettrell, who
absolutely
plenty of offensive opportunities, couldn't get it done. And good capitalisation there by the Dominoes. Persistent on the defensive end, it pays off offensively.
I was going to say, some Wolves there don't mind taking a shot from outside. Just a couple of shots there that maybe they could have penetrated in or looked to kick that ball around a little bit more.
Yeah, a little ill-advised. As Johnson now with the ball, he's got options. Dwayne Radcliffe, he's certainly not going to shoot it. Johnson can't make it. Gets his own rebound and they're all running into it.
Again, there's no box out, though, from Dominoes. They need to find a body and box out. You just can't allow Noah Johnson to run in that easily and get a no board.
2 minutes. The running clock has been a benefit to all involved here, Ronnie. I do know, talking to some of the boys, especially a couple of Hobart boys, are very happy by the end of their third game that they were a running clock after their 0-3 efforts. But I notice even some of the state athletes and that are very happy to just be getting in and out and just getting the minutes and repetitions in. As Payne in the open floor, 2-on-2, he's dribbling around everyone. Dumped down to Boucher. He explodes to the hoop, gets the finish. And after that little 90-second window there of success there for the Dominoes, they have unfortunately just let himself down a little bit there, Ronnie.
Yeah, and I think for this new team, as O'Dwyer goes for it.
Bang, he's answered back though.
Nice shot by young Ty O'Dwyer.
Bit of a cork in the ocean there. 60-40 our scoreline, back to 20 points, and they just need a stop and a score here and maybe another stop. So if they can get 3 little wins here, Ronnie, that'd be an achievement as well heading into the final quarter.
Absolutely. If they can get this to... Maybe I spoke too soon.
That's also the issue, though.
As my guy, Fraser Payne, just knocks down a triple there. If you could get it to 15, I think that's respectable, and then there's a chance there as O'Dwyer tries to go for the answering 3, but no good.
We're potentially looking at it going from what could have been a 15-point game here. Johnson's open, doesn't take it. Payne is, though. He doesn't mind it. Johnson's open again. So's Oldham. Misses that. Boucher was flying in once again, but couldn't get the rebound. And wanted a foul, didn't get it there. Oh, good strip there by Walker.
Nice hands.
Well, they weren't paying attention. Wanted that shot, didn't get it. Pawson down inside, contact clearly there. He'll go to the line. And a chance to make this to a 21-point game.
Yeah, just some interesting moments there. It's like all of a sudden they got the ball and the ball gets knocked out of hands. It needs to be, again, a little bit of communication of when a player's trying to come up and press you from behind. So, again, just from both teams on that one, communication should have been happening out there.
20 seconds left here in the third quarter. 0-2 there, but the tip in for, oh no.
No, Rice couldn't get that one to go. Again, these rims are an interesting mob of rims too, JB, so may not be in favour.
Yes, be interesting to see. Not in their Sunday best, that's for sure. Boucher down low, he's got the mismatch, goes inside, scores with relative ease.
Very good. Good pass and cut by Boucher.
And that'll be too far. So close yet so far. What we thought could have been a 15-point game is now out to 25 for the Wolves. Three-quarter time, 65-40. We will take a quick break and head into the last.
Start the final quarter here. Let's come to you from the Kingra Sports Centre. Some Wolves taking on Dominoes. As Fox getting heavily pressured by Payne. And 5-second violation. So good defence by Fraser Payne. course, you've got to get rid of the ball within 5 seconds of pressure. So, rare call, but it's there. So, Wolves coming down the floor here. Boucher. Then a poor pass, but Chino there with it, and then good pass back into Isaac Collins for the 2. JB just stepping out of commentary at the moment. Just attending to a personal thing that he needs to quickly get done. So we're just going solo here for the moment. Ball with Turner. Turner goes himself, and it was a good option as Brody Turner knocks down the 3. Margin back out to 24 here. If the Wolves can get if the Dominoes can get this to a reasonable margin at the end, it might make out for a small win here maybe for them. This Lockie Boucher can't get the 3 to go. Rebound by Turner. And now O'Dwyer coming down the floor here. So good to see Dominoes back in the competition as well too. Their first time in many, many years. As Turner kicks that one out. Fox from downtown is long. As JB decides to take a break. And Payne coming up the floor here now for the Wolves. So Johnson, Boucher, in-term Collins inside. Now out to Payne the corner, but it's the lightish blue lines here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. There are that many lines here on this court. It is light blue. So turnover there. Dominoes to get it back. And so Dwyer brings this one up. So here's Turner. Now Pawson thinking about the handoff to Fox. Now Fox decides to go solo on the on-ball screen, and another good option there. So some good shooting by Dominoes in the first couple of minutes of this last quarter. And the margin back to 31. Or 21. 21, sorry. As Radcliffe gets it to go, and the M1, and he'll go to the line for 1. So good move by Dwayne Radcliffe. 7:24 remaining in this last quarter. As we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. And you're watching this by the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel as Fox and Turner and O'Dwyer having a conference in the middle of the key. As JB just about to come back in. So ball coming down here with O'Dwyer. As we... Yep, you're right. We'll call it as Turner goes for 3. Payne with the rebound, and Payne off and running here for the Wolves. Has numbers in support, but also 2 Dominoes jerseys back with there as well. 2 good defensive play by Fox. Johnson able to recover. So Collins working his way through. Now inside to Radcliffe. Shot clock at 8.
Oh!
And then a turnover there. Sees O'Dwyer off and running for Dominoes. O'Dwyer goes himself. But a travel call, JB.
Yeah, there you go. I thought he'd drawn some contact there from Collins, unable to finish, but good to see just then with Dwayne Radcliffe able to get the low post scoring option there, Ronnie. And I mean, as I sort of spoke to Glenn yesterday, and that's a big screen.
That's a hard hit.
That's a big body to bounce off, mind you.
My word.
But that was one of the first post-up moves I've seen from Dwayne, is that one there from Gino, reining in. And I'm actually surprised that the Southern Wolves just haven't tried to play a bit of mouse in the house today. And I mean, even though it's an old school mentality, I mean, if you let Dwayne make that decision, that opens the floor up with a plethora of shooters on the floor.
It would, and I think wouldn't hurt not to look at it in games
Johnson.
like this, as Johnson gets that one with a bit of body English on it. But yeah, it's certainly something I'd probably just look at just to try. That's for sure. See how we go there. Thank you for holding the commentary on that one. The Dominoes trying to, too easy for Caleb Pawson. And that's too easy again. He's a bit of a smile. I think he realises he's blown that one. But that just brings back bad memories for me with that shot. But anyway, there's a story behind that one, Jobo.
As Johnson finishes that one. We're at the 31 points here, Ronnie, and I just think it's the lactic acid and the youth that's now coming to the forefront here in the final quarter for the Dominoes, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they did shoot well there in that first 2.5 minutes while you were out, JB. But since then, it's been all Southern Wolves so far in this last 2 minutes. So it's been just a game of swings at the moment as far as Dominoes found some nice shots early on. Now the Wolves have picked up a bit of a run. So right now, I don't think we'll go through it. We probably are going through the motions, but, we want to see both teams still compete hard here in this last 5 minutes. Yes, we'll see how we go there. It's 31-point margin. And as long as the Dominoes are able to try and execute, there's Noah Johnson, who's had a pretty good weekend in his return to ball. Over the back there from Isaac Collins, being called there by Mr. Clemente, no, Aaron Clement. He's one of our more, surprisingly, Ronald, one of our more senior officials, but taking up more of an admin role here in Kingborough and throughout Hobart.
Yes, so he takes care of the referees here at the Kingborough Huon Basketball Association, and does a good job with the young refs, and certainly still giving back to our game, which is good. He also works here at the Sports Centre as a part-time kind of...
Like a PT?
PT, personal trainer. And knowing Aaron for many years, and I've refed with him as well too at SBL level, of course, which is now NBL1. It's nice to see him still running around and doing what he's enjoyed. I think having a couple of years off, again, he's just found that itch to come back and help. So it's good to see.
Yeah, we often see him occasionally helping out on reserve games. It's during senior roster. Occasionally helps out on a senior game, but as you mentioned, a good mentor. And I mean, we talk about it all the time, the different pathways that are offered through basketball here in the state. I mean, we're sort of self-endeavoured as far as the media side of things, but your coaches and players generally have a pathway, but that's something I think Aaron's sort of helping here in developing more of a referee pathway through the Kingborough Huon Association. As Boucher knocks another one down, but yeah, as you said, it's good to see Aaron giving back. And I mean, you'd know as a former ref yourself, Ronnie, how important it is to have a mentor or to have a clearer pathway to where you can go with your reffing.
Absolutely. And right now, we're in a bit of a rebuilding process, so to speak. And talking with, of course, the new, as Lachlan Rice makes a nice move there. Speaking with the new BTAS South General Manager in Gareth Allen a couple of weeks ago, obviously that's one of his main concerns, is making sure that the referees get the right support and pathways that they need.
Good shot there by Oldham.
Very good shot by young Chris Oldham.
And I think that's one thing too we mentioned, Ronnie. I mean, it's much like players and coaches. Coaching rates I found in young people, our ability now to retain young coaches is good, but that's something that's going to need to grow with our referees, is now retaining our young referees and letting them grow and develop.
Absolutely, and I think we need to, I know the footy umpires do a really good job of, they getting around each other, and they have some different things where they have their training sessions and whatnot. I think we need to look at something similar to that. Create a culture where these referees can get together and kind of band and support each other.
There's Boucher with another one. He's had a really good game. He's been close to the best offensive player for the Wolves. Him and Johnson have really provided, and obviously Fraser Payne breaking it down. Speaking of Boucher,
Scott Boucher there with possession.
Yes, one would argue his name's he doesn't mind Boucher.
Boucher.
Really strange. A lot of people call it Boucher. We call it Boucher. I call him Scotty.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what he calls me.
Righto.
It's a family program.
It is a family program. Hello to everyone watching by the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel.
83-50. Is our scoreline. Final 2 minutes of this 5th and 6th playoff game, and the Wolves running away with it, but the Dominoes giving a decent accounting of themselves, all things accounted for. Noah Johnson hits another long shot, and I tell you what, for a guy that's had 12 months off and into his fashion and business.
Oh, yes.
His fashion business at the moment. I was talking to his dad yesterday. He's recently had a massive order from over in the Middle East. So he's doing a lot.
Very nice.
Yeah, so he's doing a lot of work there. Has his own studio in Salamanca, young Noah, so doing a lot of work there for a guy who's, I mean, if you told me that guy's had 12 months off, I really wouldn't believe you.
No, I wouldn't believe it either. And also, too, shout out to CJ, who's an extra on the ABC TV series Rosehaven. And, of course, you can catch that on ABC iView as well, too. So
non-paid promotion.
Of course, yes. Let's be ready. Thank you, JB.
That's the only reason I throw it in non-paid promotion.
Yes, of course, yes.
Need to get a little graphic for that. Remember in the WWF days when they had the RTC and they had their warning? I think we need to start installing that every time a non-paid promotion's coming forward, so YouTube can't go off it. It says Boucher again down low, but yes, as we mentioned, CJ an extra on Rosehaven.
Yes,
and one of the perennial rollerbladers of Hobart as well. The great man looks after himself. But no, as I mentioned, good to see Noah. And again, that's one thing that it's another positive with basketball at the moment. Cooper didn't quite get there in time. He was sliding across still.
I was going to say, just late on that one.
But, it's good to see that Johnson's back into the game. And again, more opportunities at senior level for some of these guys. Is going to see these faces return to the game as Oldham finishes that, and this one's blown out to beyond 40. But it's just that late game execution by the Wolves.
Yeah. And I think too, Dominoes have put up a good effort, and I think they'll find some positives out of today, and then try to build on that as they go into round 1 in a few weeks' time.
Walker not afraid to put up a shot, and they're just going to hold that one up.
Yeah.
That one won't count.
No.
It doesn't matter. It's 91-50. So your 5th place getters, the Southern Wolves, defeat the 6th place getters, Dominoes, 91-50, led, of course, by Johnson, by Payne, by Boucher. Collins had a bit of a stint there as well, and that extra big body float. Chris Oldham even hitting a few shots as well. Big body there, Dwayne Radcliffe, just making things a little easier as well. So, Ronnie, we will get ready for the bronze medal game, quote unquote. It'll be the Spartans versus
it's a state side?
It's meant to be BTAS. They're warming up over on the other court, so we'll wait for them to return. We'll take a quick break and be back with you with that one.